It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and sorry for the muck and bullocks clothes I'm wearing today, and if my hair is slightly dirty, I just literally balanced an RSJ on my head. Not like a helicopter type of thing or an aeroplane, but let's do the beer review and I'll talk all about it. Right, Anspach Hobday, one of my favourite breweries of the moment. Every single one of their beers is as a level of quality that is just great. And I'm pretty sure, like all good breweries should, even if they did brew something not to their standard, they don't let it through the door. And that's the difference between great breweries and average breweries. Now, I sat down Saturday night with a bottle of beer with a well-known Welsh brewery, opened it with a film, poured it, no head on it, no carbonation, and it was a struggle. It was a real struggle, and they must know, they must know that this beer is leaving the gates of their brewery type of thing, and they still let it go. Whereas I think with companies like Anspach and Hobday, it's not leaving the gates unless it's a certain level, a certain standard of quality. So this is their Bermondsey Pale Ale, 3.4% ABV, 440 milliliter can. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. I've washed my hands and my sleeves are wet and muddy. I'll tell you the RSJ story in a moment, but first I need a blooming beer. I still like to keep my hand in. The older I get, the more I miss my trade, my building trade. I do like it. I do like to change things and progress things and make things better. This beer looks good. One finger, white head. Good levels of carbonation. Hazy straw coloured beer. I am absolutely parched for this morning. I was out the door at 8 o'clock this morning. It wasn't far, this giving somebody a hand with this RSJ. It's not for me. What would I need an RSJ for? Zesty, citrusy, grapefruit, lemon, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, now then, that is just the ticket. That is so refreshing. That is so drinkable and refreshing. Blooming heck, that could be gone in seconds. Oh, the way I am at the moment. Wow, that is really good, really hoppy. So, 3.4% ABV. It's bothering me less. That sort of ABV a year, 2 years ago probably would have bothered me a little bit. But as I'm getting a little bit older, these sort of ABVs don't bother me so much anymore. I drank a lager from a supermarket shelf from Spain, which was 3.4% last week, and it was delicious, really delicious. Equally, 3.4% ABV pale ale. This is just as delicious. The thing you get with it being 3.4% ABV is that probably 97%, 96% is good quality London water that tastes like it's been treated. It's very refreshing. Carbonation pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth. Little bit of sweet malt to begin with, and then you have these lovely light kind of biscuity malty flavours coming through. The hops that come through are definitely more of a citrus, orange peel. Grapefruit peel is quite pithy as a beer. There's some lemon, there's a little bit of grape. There's a bit of bitterness on the back end, a good bit of bitterness actually. This reminds me of like of a very light American West Coast style beer. Fantastic. And it wasn't, I mean, we spoke about it on the Stone Crow Virtual Pub just on Friday. With this whole situation we find ourselves in at the moment, early 2024, if you're watching this in the future and everything's bright and rosy, then we're in a bit of a hard place. The UK at the moment is a bit, well, the R word is flying around, and everybody's tightened their belts, and the brewers have as well. I've got a lot less beer this year than I have, say, in previous Marches coming up to Easter. Normally got a big catalogue of beer to get through to review, but what I've noticed is with the R word, with this belt tightening, which is understandable, is that there's a lot less beer coming through the door, and there's a lot, and what I've noticed as well is not just that, there's a lot less beer being brewed as well, a lot less variety than it once was 2 years ago. So it wasn't a case that I was messing about with this RSJ and I was like, oh right, that's just, it was a case of like this is probably one of the only beers I got in the house at the moment, and I'm absolutely glad that it is, because it's so refreshing. So, a rewarding English pale ale showcasing English hops. So it's not the West Coast style, unless it's kind of new world English hops. Produced as a nod to the hard-working families of Bermondsey who would travel to Kent during the hop picking or hopping season and spend their holidays picking hops for local breweries. Amazing. 3.4% ABV, fantastic beer. I will rate it and I'll tell my story. So yeah, this is perfect for what I've been doing today. This is just absolutely perfect. It's so refreshing. It's a Stone the Crow's 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. I could drink that beer all day long. At 3.4% ABV, that's an all day. What we say around here in Wales is Mikey Rhea all dayer. Mikey Rhea, back in the 1990s, was a Welsh fullback in the rugby, and he likes a beer. Now he's retired, and he got a beer named after him in South Wales called Mikey Rhea all dayer. Anyway, yeah, 9 out of 10 for the beer. So what have I been doing? Right, I was out the door 8 o'clock this morning. Somebody wanted a hand with an RSJ. Kind of a bit of a building yard on the back of his garden. So I went down there, and he just wanted it moved from one side of the yard to the other. It was in his way, so I went down. We lifted it up, and it weighed a blooming ton, this thing, and I managed to get it like up to here, and so it's going down to the floor down here, and he's an old guy and he's got gout in his hand and he just wasn't very well, so I got it up to here, and I was like, oh, what do I do next, type of thing. I don't want to drop this RSJ on my toe, so I kind of like, without even thinking, lifted it up, and I just stuck my blooming head into it, not headbutting it, but I got my head into this RSJ, and then I just started to creep with it. I just creeping, walking with this RSJ on my head, and it was dirty as well, and I could feel all this mud on my blooming forehead. So we got this RSJ up, and then we stood it against the wall, out of the way. So muddy hands, muddy sleeves, that sort of thing. I come home, I had mud all over my forehead, and I was like, oh, I gotta review beer now. So I washed my forehead with some soap and water, give my head a bit of a dust down, and away we go. That's my story. So I hope you liked the video. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.